We all know that Node.js is a single-threaded application. Does that mean we can't create multiple threads? Yes, we can. And there are few ways by which we can create multiple threads simultaneously. In Node, we call it as a child process, and it can be created using 4-way, which is clubbed in asynchronous calls like spawn, fork, exec is execute, and then we had execFile, execute file. And there are asynchronous way also of creating all those like spawn sync, exec, execute sync, then execute file sync, but these are not suggested as it will block your main thread and the whole purpose of asynchronous functionality of Node.js will be gone. So without blocking, we can use exec, by which we can execute any scripts like we can echo home variable or run a shell script or to show list of files. Second is execFile, execute file, which works similar to execute but have more efficiency but cannot run without terminal or shell. Like in Windows, .bat and .cmd are not executable on its own without the terminal and therefore cannot be launched using child process.execute file. For that, we use either exec or spawn, spawn, with shell set to true. Third and the fourth is fork and spawn. So fork is a special instance of spawn where it uses a separate V8 engine. So we know that Node.js runs on V8 engine. So when we run fork or when we create a child process using fork, it runs on separate V8 engine. But if we create or if we run a .js file using spawn, it will be running on the same V8 engine on which the main thread is running, but it will run on different process but on the same V8 engine, unless and until we specify like spawn node then server.js, then it will create a different V8 engine. But if we use like spawn and only server.js, then it will be running on that same V8 engine on which main is running. But for fork, it will be creating a different V8 engine. So you may have question like, then why should we use fork? Forks handles it more efficiently than creating another V8 engine using spawn. And the main difference between spawn and execute is spawn is meant for huge amount of data. So it returns a stream, but exec returns a buffer, and by default it is set to 200k, and if the child process returns anything more than 200k, it will throw memory buffer exceeded. Though we can fix it by setting a bigger buffer amount in the execute option, but we should not do it because exec is not meant for processes that returns huge buffer to node, and we should use spawn for that. And all these 4 types, including the synchronous functions also, has events attached to it like on close, on exit, disconnect, error, then message from child to parent thread, then PID or process ID, standard input stdin, standard output std out, standard error like std error if we want to throw any error from the child process to the parent process. And we had kill command also, which we use like in shell script we use kill -9 and then we provide the PID or the process ID. Similarly, we use here child process dot kill and it will kill the sub process which is attached to it. And in-depth details of it will be presented by Goro. For that, get notified by hitting the subscribe button. Till then, see you.